I'm Ashley Vital, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to properly raise a sheep. Do you know, according to the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources, it takes about 2 hours a year per ewe to raise an animal and her offspring on pasture. Farmers such as myself, who have been doing this for about the last 15 years, imagine us raising about 100. That would take me 200 hours on top of my daily duties here at the farm to take care of these sheep. Now take those hours into consideration and imagine what all it entails, especially if you're raising them for profit. There are a few things that you need to know and out-of-pocket costs that are incurred before you even get your animal. According to the Farmer Frontier, it takes about $265.50 a year per ewe to maintain an animal outside of your out-of-pocket cost. One thing that is out of pocket that is going to cost you money will be your barn that I'm standing in right now. As you can see, this is a pretty big barn. I have a lot of animals. On average, it takes about $15 to $45 a square foot to build a barn. It also costs you about $1,700 an acre to make a fence. You got to keep the sheep inside. And the only other thing that is out of pocket cost is your record keeping. Now you could do it in a spiral notebook, that's fine. I used to do it that way as well. However, I incurred a lot of errors. So I went to an electronical version that not only allows me to track it on my phone, my computer, at home, I can do it right here in the barn, off of their ear tag, scan it, and see what all the record is for that one individual animal. That cost me about $250 a year. Now, when you look at your barn, your fence, and your record keeping, there's also something else that you need. What do you need to raise a sheep? Well, I on hand tell people a good starting point is to have dewormer and a drench gun, hay, water, salt and minerals, loose salt and minerals, oral vitamins in case they get off balance. It's like gummy vitamins for you, except it's a liquid form and we put it down their throat. I like to tell people to keep a thermometer on hand. You can tell when they're with pneumonia, they get a high fever. And I also like to tell people that they need to keep hoof trimmers on hand because usually 1 or 2 times a year you need to trim their toenails. These are just general things that you need. Additional things that you need, you will acquire over time, like me. I purchased this stand not too long ago, which you can see holds her hand, and down below, she stands on it, and I can take this drill right here and raise and lower her when I'm shearing her and taking off her coat. It makes it easier on my back and it saves it a lot. These are just general things you need to know. However, the most important thing you can do is concentrate on a sheep's nutrition. Nutrition is important. Why? When you concentrate on a sheep's nutrition, not only are you bettering their growth, but you also reduce lambing issues and mortality rate. Things they need are water, usually around a gallon, a little more when they're lactating and have lambs on their side. Hay or forage, I tend to give it to them free choice. According to the Merrick Manual, sheep take the nitrogen that's in the ground, the hay or the grass, and they convert it into protein, which helps them grow. They also need salt, which helps control their body temperature. They can eat up to 0.02 pounds of salt a day. They have calcium at a ratio of 2 to 1. When this is off balance, it's not good for the sheep. It helps with their growth and their milk production and blood coagulation. So if they get hurt or cut themselves, it helps, just like us, helps us stop bleeding. Iodine they need, which helps with their wool and lamb development. Cobalt, which produces vitamin B12. Selenium and zinc, which helps them grow, which helps their immune system and their reproductive tract. And copper. Every producer will tell you no copper, no copper, no copper, and I'm going to tell you otherwise. They are allowed to have copper. However, the copper amount that they can consume is already found in the ground. They do not need extra feed or any extra copper orally added through their diet. They get enough from the ground, which is normally about 15 to 30 parts per million. And the last thing they need is vitamins. Just like we take gummy vitamins, they need vitamins. A, D, E, and B. It helps with their immune support, how they grow, how they reproduce, and their ability to actually absorb what they're eating. When it's off balance, you'll know the sheep will be acting sick, just like as we get the stomach bug. They get off balance, and we give them a liquid form of CMPK, which is a general vitamin and nutrients for them, and it helps get them back on track. In closing, this is not everything you need to know. 15 years later, and I'm still learning. I still go to seminars that are teaching me about different methods that other farmers have used. And we just recently went to one in Pennsylvania, and it helped a lot. But when somebody in the general public comes up to me and asks me what all is required to raise a sheep, these are the 3 main points that I point out to them. I point out to them what all nutrients and vitamins they need. I point out what all you're going to have to buy at the beginning, and I point out what all you will have to buy over time to make it easier on yourself. If you think you would be unwilling to invest your free time in the barn like I do every day, not only will it be rewarding, it's very therapeutic. Thank you. And does anybody have any questions?